Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's ETA Prime back here again. Today, we're going to be taking a look at the all-new GPD MicroPC2. With this unit, GPD has added upgrades across the board, like a bigger, better screen, larger battery, more powerful CPU, and more RAM, and it's still retaining a super small form factor, as you can see. They have redesigned the overall shell just a bit when you compare it to the original, and personally, I think it gives it more of a modern, minimalistic look. And in my opinion, this is a pocketable PC. It's a full-fledged laptop running Windows or Linux, and you can slide it right in your pocket. Out of the box, this is running Windows 11, and over on the right-hand side, we've got a fingerprint sensor / power button so we can easily log in. It's got a new 7-inch display, which is coming in bigger than the 6-inch in the original, and it's also a swivel display, so we can turn this all the way around and use it as a tablet if you needed to. Personally, I haven't messed around with it that much in kind of tablet mode here. I like using it as a mini laptop. It's actually really easy to reach all of the keys, trackpad, and mouse buttons here. Inside of the box, along with the GPD Micro PC2, we get a 45-watt PD fast charger, our USB cable, and the lanyard. Personally, I think all of these micro PCs and even handhelds on the market now do need lanyards, and I'm really glad to see that they added a spot for one. We've got a fully backlit QWERTY keyboard using dome switches like on some of their other devices that they've released in the past year. Feels really nice, and it's just a single zone white LED, but it works great in the dark. 7-inch Retina display, and I'm not exactly sure what makes it Retina. It's a 1080p display at 60 Hertz, so we've got a 16:9 aspect ratio here. And if we take a look at the bottom, we do have some rubber feet just to kind of keep it up. It's not going to slide around on the desk, or if you're using this for work, which is one of the main things that a lot of people do with the micro PCs from GPD. And of course, when it comes to I/O, over here on the right-hand side, we've got a full-size USB 3.2 Gen 2 port, plus our power button / fingerprint sensor. Over on the right-hand side, not a lot going on, but we've got our other speaker for the dual stereo speaker system we have here, and a 3.5mm audio jack. And even though this thing is coming in with a very small form factor, we still have a 2.5 gigabit Ethernet port around back, full-size HDMI 2.1, another full-size USB 3.2 Gen 2 port, micro SD card slot, good up to a 2 terabyte card, and dual USB-C 10 gig ports. When it comes to the overall specs of the Micro PC2, for the CPU, they opted to use the Intel N250, and with this, we get 4 cores, 4 threads, with a boost up to 3.8. If you remember, the original Micro PC from GPD actually had the Intel Celeron N4100. This is actually a really major upgrade, and we'll take a look at some benchmark comparisons in just a bit. We've got an upgraded 32 compute unit iGPU, and this will clock up to 1.25 gigahertz, 16 gigabytes of LPDDR5 RAM running at 4800 megahertz, a user replaceable 2280 M.2 SSD, it's PCIe 4.0, 7-inch 1080p IPS display, Wi-Fi 6, Bluetooth 5.0, a 27.5 watt hour battery, 45 watt USB-C quick charging, and this is only coming in at 490 grams. It's a bit heavier than the original, but not by that much. The overall usability of this thing is awesome. We've got that right-hand side trackpad. We can navigate this with our thumb. Physical mouse buttons over on the left-hand side, or you can use multi-touch or multi-tap with the trackpad. It's really up to you. But it does work out really well, and I've been a big fan of the GPD trackpads that they use in their systems, especially with these smaller laptops. I've always had really good luck with them. When I'm just holding the unit with two hands, I can reach all of the buttons on the keyboard just fine. Again, we've got dome switches behind these. They feel really tactile. Single zone backlit LED, and it does look like we've only got one nick of brightness on this thing, but it works out really well in dim situations. I mean, you can see all of the keys. Got that fingerprint sensor over here on the right-hand side and that swivel screen. I personally don't use Windows machines like this much, but if you wanted to kind of set it up in TP mode, is usually what they call it, you could definitely do that to watch some videos or get some work done. It's up to you. The Intel N250 that we have here runs up to 15 watts in this unit, and you don't have to change anything from the BIOS to get it up to that wattage. At that wattage, it does perform really well. Obviously, inside of Windows, we've got our power profiles, and I mean, we can go to quiet mode, balanced, or high performance. I've been sticking with balanced mode for most of the stuff that I've been doing on this thing, and it's worked out just fine. Using this thing for everyday tasks like email checking, document editing, video playback, web browsing has been awesome. The N250 isn't a super powerful chip, so it's a nice upgrade over like an N100, especially on the iGPU side, but it's a major upgrade over the original micro PC from GPD because, again, that was using that N4100. I mean, we're getting much higher single core and multi core scores out of this chip. Taking a look at some video playback here from YouTube, it's just HDR 1080p. We could go up to 4K with this chip and it will handle it. But since we've got a 1080p display, I figured we'd leave it right there. It's got built-in dual stereo speakers. They are sideward firing, but they sound great. They get loud enough for what we have here, and they're not super tinny like some of the other mini PCs that we've seen. And to kind of give you an idea on where this stands in GPD's line, over on the left-hand side, we've got the GPD Win Mini 2025, HX370, significantly more power plus the built-in controls. Over on the far right, we've got the GPD Pocket 4. Also has that HX370, offers plenty of power. It's got an expandable module around back and a much larger display coming in at 8.8 inches. You can see the resemblance between the Pocket 4 and the new MicroPC2. Both have swivel screens, built-in trackpads. We've got those physical mouse buttons. Basically, the MicroPC2 is the little brother to the GPD4. But the GPD Win 4 does offer significantly more power with the HX370, obviously a larger screen, and it's going to come in with a higher price tag. Getting down to the performance of the MicroPC2, first thing I wanted to take a look at were a couple benchmarks, and we've got Geekbench 6 here, single core 1267, multi 3397. Not super high scores by any means, but for a micro PC like this, it's not doing bad. And when we compare it to the original micro PC from GPD, which had that Intel N4100, you can see we've got a significant boost in single core and multi-core due to the new N250. Next up, we've got 3D Mark Night Raid, and unfortunately on the N4100, I could never get this test to finish, so I'm not exactly sure what it would score, but I'm pretty sure we'd be in the thousands with it, maybe even a bit lower. But on this setup, we're at 7,385. And out of the box, this came with a 512 gigabyte M.2 drive. Just give you a look at a disk mark that I ran on this system. The GPD MicroPC2 is definitely not designed for gaming. If you're looking for that, they've got that Win Mini. The 2025 version is amazing with that HX370, but it doesn't mean that we can't game on this. Indie games and older games are going to run just fine on this N250. Here's Hades 2. We're at medium settings, 1080p, running at a constant 60. Up in the top left-hand corner, I've got the new Steam overlay running. That way I didn't use any extra RAM with something like Afterburner, but this game runs great here. Next up, OG Skyrim at 1080 low settings, and I probably could have taken some of the settings up to medium here, but it's pretty awesome to see it running this well on a small PC like this. And by the way, I'm using an Xbox controller connected over Bluetooth. And yeah, I mean, I know that these are older games or indie games, but that's what we're going to be kind of locked at with this N250, unless you want to do some cloud gaming or streaming. And the final one I have here is Drive Rally. I've been playing a lot of this on the Steam Deck, and I wasn't sure how it was going to perform here. I dropped it down to 900p low settings, and it's not horrible. There is some pop in, as you can see. There's not much that I can do about it. I mean, we are at low. There's a potato mode, but it just doesn't look great, especially when you're dropped down in the resolution. But I'd say going down to 720 on this smaller screen, it would still look pretty decent, and it may alleviate that pop in going on. The last thing I wanted to talk about here was battery life. And yeah, this does charge at 45 watts, as you can see. Plus, this has a bypass battery mode, which means you can run this directly from the wall without charging the battery up, which is going to save the overall life of the battery. And I've been doing some testing here with YouTube video playback, web browsing, and gaming. I'm really impressed by the low wattage this thing's pulling directly from the battery. And we've got that N250, which will boost up to 15 watts. So if we were to stress this out, we're not going to get a lot of runtime out of it, but under everyday normal use, with the screen brightness set to 50%, 1080p YouTube video playback, little over 4 hours. And as for 1080p gaming, something like OG Skyrim, this is drawing a total of 19.7 watts from the battery, which means we're going to get around an hour and a half of runtime. Not bad for that smaller battery at all. So yeah, as an upgrade to the original GPD MicroPC, this is pretty awesome. I mean, we're getting better battery life, better screen, much more performance out of this new N250 CPU. But it's definitely not for everybody. It's not a gaming machine like a lot of the other GPD devices out there. If you have a specific use case scenario, then this would be an awesome little mini laptop or pocket PC. I will have another video coming up. I do want to test out some emulation on this, so keep an eye out. But in the meantime, if you're interested in learning a little more about the GPD MicroPC2, I'll leave links to the official GPD website in the description below. And if there's anything else you want to see running on this in my next video, just let me know in the comments. But that's it for this one. Like always, thanks for watching.